All right, we're going to get this cooking wagon in gear. First, I want to thank History Colorado for hosting this event. I want to, as always, thank the Denver Post, Dean Singleton, publisher, Chandler Smith, who is the magician who makes all this stuff happen, and all their entire team. I want to thank all the Pedal the Plane sponsors, and this is the, as at the moment, sponsors. Who knows how many more sponsors we'll get, but Viero Wireless, Western Dairy, Anadarko, Noble Energy, Suncor Energy, Connect for Colorado, Connect for Health Colorado, Colorado Touchstone Energy Cooperative, and Safeway. This wouldn't happen without all of their support. We also have education sponsors, History Colorado, Look About You, Behold, USDA NRCS, History of Colorado, Colorado Parks and Wildlife, Colorado Department of Agriculture, Canyons and Plains, and the National Park Service. And again, we wouldn't be able to do this without them. We have a number of announcement sponsors, obviously Denver B-Cycle. We're going to do a little promotional work with them in a second. Catering by Design, and Presidential Worldwide Transportation. I also want to recognize Al White, who's our czar of tourism over here from the governor's office. Ken Lund, the head of economic development, is here somewhere. He might not have gotten here yet. I saw he was at the earlier event down Colorado Springs where we kind of set all this up. And I know he was hustling to get here. Ellen Robinson, did she make it up here? She was down there as well. Ellen's here, so Ken Lund has no excuse. And I believe Donald Zuckerman's here, the Office of Film. There he is. Thank you, Donald, for all your support of this. And the unsung hero of all this, who does all the real work, Reed Rowley, is here. Also, and I haven't seen him, is Senator Brophy here? Senator Brophy is here. So the governor has a certain privilege, and we do feel that it's appropriate that certain senators should not be allowed to ride because they ride too fast. Not only that, they actually work out and they look okay in spandex. So those are the things that would eliminate most people's political careers, but Senator Brophy has supported this from the start and has really helped reach out and increase our ability to get to more people and get more people involved. A number of other folks have played a role in that and continue to do so. This all started when I was out on the Eastern Plains in the campaigning in 2010 and was just dumbstruck by how beautiful the landscape was and how incredibly welcoming the people were. And came back and was talking to people about it, of just how is it that, I could live here for 30 years and never have been out there and experienced it. And had the good fortune of saying those exact sentiments to Dean Singleton, who said to me, well, you could have listened to me because I've been singing that song for a long time and trying to get people to recognize that. And Dean has always been a huge believer in rural Colorado. But anyway, I said, well, when I came in, I was thinking we ought to have a bicycle ride across the plains, right? We've got the ride the Rockies, right? That you go up and down 3 passes in a day, and it's a whole week, and you'll cover, 12,000 feet of climb in a single day. Why don't we have a ride that's for the rest of us, right? Where we can ride across the rolling hills of eastern Colorado and get a chance to really appreciate where our food comes from and just the incredible beauty of the landscape and the incredible quality of the people there. And I think, last year we went from Yuma to Ray down to Burlington, back up to Yuma, and it was as great a success as I could have ever imagined. I bet if it was 2 people, I bet it was 100 people came and told me how inspiring it was for them to be out there and to get a taste of what real Colorado was like. And equally, how many people were out on the Eastern Plains and so grateful to have, a chance to show off what they did and feel appreciated for their creation of the food we eat and so many of the traditions that we utilize here in Colorado. That was a remarkable impact. We had about, somewhere between $250,000 and $300,000 economic impact, which, is just a start, right? That's obviously not what our ultimate goal is, but I think we're going to build on that this year. We are tying this in with a real focus on how do we move Colorado from being the leanest state to being the healthiest state. So we already are the leanest state. It's not that big a reach for us to go out and really focus and become the healthiest state in Colorado. And I think that's part of what we're working on. We've got a partnership this year with WellTalk. That's WELLTOK, but WellTalk. That's going to create a free training challenge, so you can get training schedules, nutritional plans. It's an online platform. It's going to be open to all the businesses and organizations who put their teams together and just compete on each team who can log the most training miles leading up to the event. This is going to be a cutthroat competition to see which team can get the most training miles, and the winning team gets 10 free registrations. So we're hoping that gets everybody really amped up and focused on, you know, again, building on this culture of riding in addition to opening up the Eastern Plains. So we look forward to another great year. We'll see. I trust we'll see most of you in the saddle. Now it's my great privilege to introduce someone who really needs no introduction, but there would be no Pedal the Plains without Dean Singleton, the publisher of the Denver Post and about 1 billion other newspapers.
Thank you, Governor. You know, this time last year when we were announcing the first Pedal the Plains, we were full of anticipation. My only regret was that the governor thought about this and I didn't. But we were excited about what this could be. This year it's even more exciting because we saw one happen last year, and it was a spectacular event. Most people know my love for the Eastern Plains. In fact, the Denver Post owns community newspapers throughout the Eastern Plains and has for many, many years because of my belief in small town newspapers and what they can mean to a community. In fact, it would be almost impossible to have Pedal the Plains without going through communities where we own newspapers, and this one will be no different. We think this has a lot of potential. It was great last year. We think it'll grow every year, and will certainly be a nice cousin to our Ride the Rockies, which is one of the more successful bicycle rides in the world. Especially for me, it's exciting about the charitable contributions. Our charitable contributions last year went to 4-H and FFA, of which I spent my life growing up in 4-H and FFA, and they're both important parts of my life and what helped me build my life, and Rural Solutions. They each received grants last year, and this year we'll receive grants that are double what they did last year. When you see the route, you'll see why I'm excited about this year. It's a route, and so many people do Pedal the Plains that have never been to the Eastern Plains. They don't know that that's part of Colorado. It's actually among the most important parts of Colorado because they actually grow the things that we eat and do it well. And as you know from last year, the hospitality we received was unimaginable. The small towns of the Eastern Plains know extremely well how to make their guests feel at home. So we're looking forward to that again. And without further ado, let me introduce Chandler Smith, who runs Ride the Rockies and Pedal the Plains, and he'll talk to you about our route. And I certainly hope, and I'm sure that we'll have a newspaper on that route on Pedal the Plains.
Good afternoon. Good to see everybody here. Governor Hickenlooper, Dean, thank you both for your collective vision and your investment in Pedal the Plains. It was an honor to help orchestrate the event last year, its inaugural year, And we're excited to ride the momentum from last year into this fall, and as we plan this year's sequel. What I'd like to do is invite forward our host community representatives, our sponsors, staff, governor, to all come up, grab a part of the ground cover, and then we'll go ahead and unveil this year's route. So please come forward. This is the picture op, so smile, look pretty. And we all can't pull in different directions or we're not going to go anywhere with this thing. So let's maybe walk it back out that way. So it's my privilege to announce and welcome our 2013 host communities for the Denver Post Pedal the Plains Bicycle Tour presented by Viera Wireless. And now you're thinking, that name's longer than our first day's route. So our first host community I'd like to introduce is Eads, Colorado, the county seat of Kiowa County, population 625. It's a little town with a big heart, steeped in agriculture and conveniently located at the halfway point of the Trans-American Bicycle Trail. Eads is home of the Eagles, and for that matter, several of my relatives. Our second host town and first overnight stop is in Lamar, Colorado. Settled along the Santa Fe Trail and later the Santa Fe Railroad, Lamar is no stranger to guests, having greeted travelers for well over 100 years. Known as the industrial and retail center of southeastern Colorado and the county seat of Prowers County, Lamar is home to the Savages and perhaps a little known fact, 70 flavors of popcorn. And our final host community and second overnight stop is La Junta, Colorado. As a major cattle and produce shipping center, La Junta is the largest city and hub in the Arkansas Valley and home of the Tigers and the Couture dancers. These towns were selected because, like the region, they are rich in culture and history. Family is high priority and no one there is a stranger, and they all know how to throw a heck of a party. We are also told that there are very few goat heads in eastern Colorado and little to no wind. And what winds there may be, they're guaranteed to be at our backs. Need I say more? In all sincerity, though, hosting 1,000 cyclists is no small feat, and I'd like to thank these communities in advance for their time and effort. Joining us today are a number of representatives from these towns, so please help me in welcoming the entire Eads delegation, led by Jan Richards, Community Coordinator of the Kiowa County Economic Development Foundation. The Organizing Committee for Lamar, represented by Prowers County, County Commissioner Wendy Buxton Andrade. And the crew from La Junta, championed by Mr. Jake Prine, President of the La Junta Chamber of Commerce. So this September, cyclists will converge on southeastern Colorado, having selected and trained for one of three ways to pedal the plains: a 3-day tour, a century ride, and a family fun ride. The 3-day tour, September 20th through the 22nd, will span 172 miles over vast grasslands and rolling hills, and the terrain is rich in history, rooted in agriculture, and peppered with a number of educational opportunities and points of interest. From Eads to Lamar to La Junta and back to Eads, cyclists will be treated to the likes of the Santa Fe Trail, Benzold Fort, and the Fort Lyon National Cemetery and Fort Lyon Facility, to name a few. The Century Ride will commence on Saturday, September 21st, and take cyclists from Lamar to La Junta with a loop out of Rocky Fort. This ride may be purchased as a single-day standalone ride offering. However, cyclists on the 3-day ride may also elect to participate, and they'll have 67 miles to ponder their decision before the turnoff to Rocky Ford to go for the gold or to get a cantaloupe. And then when we have our family fun ride on Sunday, September 22nd, this will be the ride for everybody else. For those who want to trade in their Lycra for Levi's, bike cleats for boots, skinny tires for fat tires, this 5-mile ride will start and end at the Kiowa County Fairgrounds and showcase the quaint town of Eads, its surrounding farms and landscape. It's a great way for the friends and family of the 3-day riders to experience the charm of southeastern Colorado while they wait for their loved ones to finish the final stage of the 3-day tour. And yes, costumes and bike decorations are highly encouraged, as well as participation from the community members of Eads and neighboring towns. So all this information and more may be found on our website at pedaltheplains.com, and online registration has officially opened. Now, as many of you discovered last year, what separates Pedal the Plains and was unique about our event compared to bicycle tours across the state were the number of interactive and educational offerings. It's my privilege to introduce one of Colorado's most renowned historians, the Colorado State historian, Bill Convery, who will speak to these opportunities and highlight some of the marquee points on this year's route. Bill?
Thank you, Chandler, and good afternoon. History Colorado is proud to be a partner in this historic event that references not only southeastern Colorado, but our entire state. And I know what you're thinking, oh my God, here comes the historian. This is going to go down fast. But the good news is I don't have to lecture you about this part of the state, because the bikers on Pedal the Plains will be traveling through some of the most significant and interesting historical landscape in all of Colorado. And we are proud at History Colorado to be able to share the stories of southeastern Colorado as part of Pedal the Plains. Stories of the travelers and traders on the Santa Fe Trail, which the bikers will be following. Trails of Hispano Settlement, stories of Trinidad and Pinon Canyon, and Bent's Fort and the fur trade, all along the route of this trail. The bikers will be passing through land that was treasured by homesteaders and cattle ranchers, and they'll be coming within shouting distance of two of the most nationally significant parts of Colorado, at Amache near Lamar and near the site of the Sand Creek Massacre. There's a lot to reflect upon and a lot to enjoy as you travel around this state, and we know that you'll be traveling through an area that is rich in stories of Colorado's past. We hope you enjoy, and we are proud to be part of this. It's my privilege to introduce Lisa Murray, the Vice President of Marketing from Viaero Wireless, the presenting sponsor. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you. You know, at Viaero, we have 3 guiding principles or pillars that we live by, and it's quality, value, and community. And our partnership with this event just really aligns to those so well. First of all, the quality. This is a high-quality event, and that's really impressive considering that last year was the inauguration. Things are hard to put together. They take a lot of work. And so really kudos to the organizing teams who did such a great job, who put together such a great event that we're proud to put our name on it. Value. You know, value is important to everyone, but especially to the people, the hardworking people of these communities. We work hard to always ensure that values in our product and in our pricing. We absolutely love the fact that this event drives economic value to the hardworking communities of our customers and our employees. It's a really nice aspect about the event. And then finally, community. I can't tell you how thrilled we are with the route, the tour that we've chosen. You can't have picked a more beautiful route. We're thrilled. We have beautiful stores in Lamar and La Junta. I love that, as a 5th generation Colorado native, I love that we're tying in the historic aspect. I think that really brings an added dimension to the event. And so we just couldn't be more thrilled with what's going on with the event. On behalf of Frank DeRico, the owner of the company, I just want to say thank you, and we couldn't be more proud to be the presenting sponsor again. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Lisa. So that wraps up the unveiling. We are open to questions, if anybody has any questions. No questions. Everybody's excited about the Denver Bike Cafe. So that is the next part of this. We will have a little soiree over at the Denver Bike Cafe. We do have incredible donation of B-Cycle bicycles out front, which you are welcome to ride over. Governor Hickenlooper, I understand, is going to be leading the first wave of cyclists. And we would just ask that you sign a liability waiver and wear a helmet, which we have out there for you as well. And please join us over at the Denver Bike Cafe for some bluegrass music and some libations. Thank you all so much for coming out today, and we look forward to seeing you this fall.